Alright, continuing on into Act 2, Part 8. Last episode, we went ahead and met Quincy for the very first time in-game. I was entirely hyped. I straight up geeked up in that episode, so let's see what happens in this part. Which is, it takes 2 or 3. How's everybody, guys? Been a minute since I've picked up the game. Case closed? Oh, sweet. Vicio's best detective duo has returned. Welcome back, Ellie and Malachite, John. We don't know what the hell to call him, so I'm calling him Aura now. Because he's giving you migraines? No, because of his... No, because of his blooming aura, of course. Well then, Mellow Aura, it's good to have you two back in town. I assume you were able to solve the mystery surrounding the missing familiars? Yes, with the help of my trusty assistant, I was able to figure it out. It's remarkable, I have to say. Good thing you went with her, Aura. It was a dangerous mission. Did you encounter a T-Rex? Of course not, but we were nearly burned alive. That's not what I would have expected. You must always expect life to double-cross you. I'm glad you both made it back in one piece. But I'm curious, what was the reason behind those vanishing familiars? Do I need to worry about Otto disappearing too? How about we tell you what happened in Zephyr, but only in exchange for 2 free drinks. I can see you've learned a thing or two on your first big mission. Or it taught me how to be more cunning. Only the basics. No need to be so humble. You taught her well. What kind of drink would you like today, Melly? I want something that'll polish my investigation and detective skills. A drink that'll make me even smarter than I am now. So, no mysteries, mystery case like this one will ever be unsolvable for me. I mean, right up. Sorry guys, I'm still a little congested, and today I've been practically bedridden all day. Feeling a little bit better now. Keyword, a little bit. Okay, so more intelligence than anything. So, if I remember right... This one. Yeah. Sparkling Nobel? Words. If I remember right, we needed to use a infusion for this one, right? Yeah, let's do that one. Get the intelligence all the way up. And then charisma. And that's too much. Here you go, little buddy. And it should be it, right? Sparkling Nobel. Blue? Order up. I don't remember. Let's see if this will make your brain cells multiply. Thank you. Let me try. Oh, this is good. I can really feel it. I'm going to be completely unstoppable. Oh no. Oh yes. Intentionally, I wanted to sit this one out, but I might actually need a drink now. It would be my pleasure if it means that I get to hear your story. Also, I'm craving a short laugh. A short laugh? That's a weird statement. Okay. Why don't you share one of your jokes with us? With me. Right, we made a deal. Correct. So what will it be today? Maybe something that'll help me counter her verbal attacks now that she's logistically invincible. So the usual, right? Give me a second, I'll be right back. I remember it's like something dexterous, right? No, charismatic. Alrighty. 1,000 wounds. Sure, let's do that. I think that's a new one. Either that or we just haven't used it for a while. A little bit of constitution. Got all the charisma. With crap. Hold on. Oh, finally! I'm such a freaking dork. I am such a freaking dork. That only took forever. Order up! This should make things easier for you. Oh. I can see it in his face. Is it that bad? Huh? No, silly. He likes it. You can clearly see it in the way his scarf is moving. Ah, I see. My detective skills aren't that bad after all. You think you could teach me a thing or two sometimes? Of course. Then we'll be a trio. The detective, her trusty assistant, and the curious apprentice. I like the sound of that. It's been a while since I've been on an apprentice. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to be a part of this, but I couldn't have completed the quest without you. Also, being a detective trust assistant is an honorable duty, but I'm glad you came with me. Of course, I couldn't let you walk headfirst into the open maw of a hungry T-Rex. Hey, did you actually encounter a T-Rex in Zephyr? No, didn't be. Don't be silly. Sorry, I tried to make a joke. I can tell. I think it was kind of funny. Okay, let me show you how it's done. How do you ask a dinosaur if it wants a cup of tea? Beats me. T-Rex. There's a dad joke. I still have a lot to learn, it seems. But now, please, I'm dying to know what happened in Zephyr. So, thanks to the golden feathers, we made it to Zephyr in the blink of an eye. I don't think I've ever felt that fast in my life. It was like he had Izumi, so they helped us remain unseen too. Thanks to the drink, we were able to sneak around the city without attracting too much attention. But those ghosts were the clue we needed. I knew we'd find something at the docks, so we made our way there. She was right. In the dead of the night, just hours after we had left the tavern, we spotted a particular dog roaming near the water. We watched as it tried to sneak onto a cargo ship. It behaved weird, undog-like. It hid behind some barrels and kept looking left and right before it started to sneak on board. I'd never seen a dog do that before. It looked like it didn't know how to be a dog. It doesn't use its nose, its ears. It was just off. We watched as one of the workers noticed the dog and scared it away. But my investigation senses were in tingling. So we started asking around. As a detective, they want to collect some evidence. A few people said they had also seen some animals with odd behaviors. Most of them thought they had some kind of illness like rabies, or they were or that they were spirits disguised in animal form sent by a sea witch. So they stayed away and minded their own business. Not a very high-class detective of them, but they made for fine witnesses. Apparently there's something like a weekly get-together for all of the town's familiars. We decided to check it out, and we managed to track down a few of the participating familiars to get more insight. It was a little tricky since none of them wanted to talk to us at first. Then they were a bit weary of strangers. It also seems to be difficult for familiars to speak to people they don't know. Must have something to do with their magical abilities. But with our combined charm and charisma, Aura and I were finally able to gain the trust of one of them. And they told us something strange. They said all those familiars that went missing seemed to have been in contact with one particular magician. So of course we had to pay the wizard a visit, preferably when he wasn't at home. I think that's called burglary. Finding out his address was child's play. Apparently he's quite popular among the people of Ruesafer. It just took Aura a little bit of, well, excited bribery to find Mage's home. Did you take some notes? I did. Prepared yourself to be my next test subject, innkeeper. Should I be scared? I'm excited to see how much you've learned. Let's go with that one. You'll be surprised. Flabbergasted. Gobsmacked? Gobsmacked? Is that actually a saying? Very well. Your drink really did wonders. We managed to break in without anyone noticing. It was so exciting we snuck around looking for evidence, maybe a hidden ritualistic chamber or something like that. And did you find one? Sadly, no. But we found his office with the door open. Inside were a lot of books about different kinds of animals and familiars. We figured that he just loved animals, or at least needed that knowledge for something else. As any world-class detective would, I also checked his trash can. And did you find anything? Well, nothing that helped to solve the case, but I did find something that you'd like between all of the shredded paper. It looked like a recipe for a magical drink, just like the ones you serve. Ta-da! Nice. Silent owl. Oh, that's very useful. That's what I thought. Anyways, Aura and I continued our search for clues. His office also had books about common and uncommon diseases in animals, so we kinda had a connection to report cases of rabies. I thought it was a bit of a stretch, not that I could change her mind. That wasn't all we found. Next to his desk is a small cupboard where his diary, diaries. They were full of notes and spells that I couldn't understand. Something about transmutation magic. Oh, lovely. While she studied his diary, I rummaged through his belongings and scrolls. I had absolutely no clue what any of it meant until I found something of interest. Detailed instructions on how to unbind a familiar from their services. Ooh. A thought began to manifest itself in my brain. I thought I couldn't quite grasp it yet. But somehow my instincts told me I had all the information I needed. I just had to stitch everything together. Kind of like what I do when I assemble a quest for my patrons. Exactly. But right when I tried getting to it, we heard the front door squeak and crack as someone entered the house. We tried to hide, of course, but we hadn't been quite quick enough with our investigation. And definitely not subtle either. The whole place looked super chaotic. The wizard immediately knew something was off. And potentially dangerous person on high alert is even more dangerous, so we had to be on guard. Or I hid under the table, but I had other plans. I managed to jump on the bookshelf and wedge myself right on top under the ceiling. So I was hidden, but could still see the whole room. Good call. I watched as the magician barged in, but he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a lizard, a colorful bird, and a two-headed sheep. Oh no, not one of those again. Huh? It's nothing. Please continue. It was so weird. The bird didn't know how to fly, the lizard walked on two legs, and the sheep's two heads always looked in the same direction. As if they all didn't know how to be real animals, just like the dog from the dogs. But now we had proof. The wizard animals were definitely connected to the weird wizard. And as if the wizard noticed nothing, he stopped and said to the animals, "No, you three get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble or hurt." I already had my fingers wrapped around the handle of my knife, ready to strike. I was sure he felt my murderous intent, but it does sound like he cared about those animals. That's what I thought too. As soon as they had left the room, I saw him create a ball of flame in his hand. He was ready to strike, and I knew I had to do something. He would have done horrible things to Aura. So I meowed. That's one way of doing it. Like a cat? Huh? I pretended to be a cat. And somehow it worked even though I was wearing clothes. The wizard turned around and saw me on top of the bookshelf. His features turned from worried to soft in a millisecond, and he said, "Oh, little rascal, how did you get in here? Did I lock you in? You must be terribly scared." And I was scared, but not for the reason he thought. So I just meowed a second time, as you do when you're pretending to be a cat. And then he said very politely, "Would you please come down here? This room isn't a place for little cats, but I can offer you a cup of milk instead." And that was a very tempting offer, so as any cat, I would answer, "No, but I would love some chocolate milk." What? I kinda forgot that cats don't usually speak. Needless to say, his face was priceless. But then he had started to light up again. I immediately knew he was in danger, so I broke every possible rule the Thieves Guild taught me and just hopped up from underneath the table. That was very brave of you. That was kind of foolish thing to do. It was brave. I don't know if I'd ever been so fearless. Well, I had to. The wizard turned around. He was surprised, maybe even scared, but he was also ready to fire at me. I already saw my life flashing before my eyes. Before I could even think about it, I yelled, "We know you don't mean any harm. You're just trying to protect those familiars, right?" Apparently, it hit a nerve. He stopped right in his tracks. I took advantage of that moment and tried to explain why we were in his home in the first place. I told him everything about the quest, the familiars, the weird dog. Usually, I'm not very good with words, but well, your drink definitely did what it was supposed to. I don't know how, but I think we managed to de-escalate this situation. He looked panicked before that, as if he was being chased. Maybe he actually expected people to come after him. Hearing all the clues out of Aura's mouth kind of flipped a switch in my brain. And I could see the truth right in front of me. Suddenly everything made so much sense. I jumped down from the shelf and began my conclusion. It is clear to me that you, the accused, do not have ill intentions. However, that does not make you innocent. You're still involving in the disappearance of some familiars. She was walking back and forth while she gave her speech. Needless to say, the wizard and I were equally confused. You're fond of animals and as such, also familiars. And while I don't know anything about magic, I have heard that term transmutational before. Who hasn't, honestly? It's a broadly used term. That's right. There was a blatant lie. So, the world's greatest detective have concluded you are turning familiars into animals, or at least you're making them look like animals. You also were accompanied by some of those turned familiars, and you cared for their safety. That means they are here of their own free will. By turning them into animals, you did them a favor. They wanted to be transmuted. But now their patrons and the other familiars can't reach them anymore. And they're worried that something bad happened to them, and that's why we're here. Case closed. That's pretty impressive. And you figured that all out by yourself? Yep. The magician also was also really impressed. I totally hit the nail on the head. I explained again that we were just here to investigate, but that it was also necessary for the familiars and their friends and families to talk to each other. The remaining familiars wanted an explanation, as well as their former mages. The wizard already felt guilty for doing anything behind their backs, of course. Turned out the familiars were unhappy in their dragon-like bodies and much preferred feeling like real animals. But they were afraid of telling their patrons and familiar friends, so none of their remaining acquaintances knew what had happened. Of course, they expected the worst. Why else would your friends just leave you alone and disappear without a trace? Yeah. But obviously none of them wanted to continue on like that, so we helped set up a meeting for them to talk it out. And they did. All the magicians were very understanding, if a little sad to lose their connections. The other familiars also welcomed them with open arms, and even though they were a little confused at first, they needed a while to understand why their friends wanted to be animals. But I think they got it eventually. So all in all, it sounds like a very successful quest. Absolutely. I'm glad you got to uncover the truth. Hehe, me too. The magician even decided to give us something in return for helping him. Neither of us have any use for it, so we wanted you to have it. Don't say that. That makes it sound like it's a bad gift, and it's not. What is it then? The Ring of Beast Storing. The Ring of Beast Storing with a lot of familiars inside of it. He found it a long while ago, but its patron never showed up. We named it Renew. Lena can't take care of it, and I have my sheepfish, Rufus. But you have Udu, so you already know how to take care of mini dragons. Oh, absolutely do. He might enjoy some company. I wouldn't mind him staying, and I wouldn't have minded him staying an only child. He wouldn't mind the company. So thank you two very much. Oh, there he is. I needed to get back to Rufus now. He gets lonely without me sometimes. Or is it that you got lonely without him? He's my pet. I need to take care of him. Don't worry. I'm sure Fable did a good job. Though it's nice to see how much you care for your pet. He's the only friend since my parents died a long time ago. Oh. Were they also eaten by zombies? No. They were burned alive. Oh. Oh no. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was late afternoon. My parents wanted to visit the adjacent village to buy some grain, but they never returned. I wanted to look for them. But when I got to the village, every house, every barn, and even the ground was ablaze. I heard yelling, people screaming in pain, pleading for help. And my parents were nowhere to be found. A few of the survivors confirmed they had seen them earlier that day, before the fire. I later found out the perpetrator was the pretentious son of a noble family. He had a disagreement with a farmer over some payment and instead paid a bunch of criminals to set fire to his farm. That's so messed up, dude. With the first fire spread uncontrollably and devoured everything in its path, including innocent lives, just like it did today. That's awful. I'm sorry, Aura. That's alright. I bottled all my emotions up and combined them into a desire. For a family? For revenge? Oh. But that sounds like a lonely desire, though. And you haven't found any friends since then? No, the people in the Thieves Guild helped me survive, but they weren't particularly keen on friendship. So I just chose the lonely path that was meant for me. That's not very nice of them. But now you have me. And we're best friends now. And compliances. Accomplishes. You know what the word is. And we can found our own guild. Like a detective guild. No. Give us a few more quests and we'll be the most famous detectives in all of SEO. I'm sure of that. And good mythical morning to you, Innkeeper. This time it's actually still morning. But that doesn't mean it isn't also morning somewhere else in the world as well. Of course not. That's a really cute hat you're wearing. That's a really cute hat you're wearing. Thanks. Can I try it on sometime? Only if you tell me your name. A fellow master of bribery, I see. But there's nothing more you could possibly teach me. A world-class detective like me doesn't need extra lessons in bribery. So you're a detective? Yes. The best detective in all of PSO, I might add. I'm Melly, by the way, but you can call me Melly. Have to make your acquaintance, Melly. I'm Hexion Hex, but you can call me Hex. Like, by your last name? No, Hex as in short of Hexion, obviously. Ah. And who's the grim-looking fellow next to you? Oh, him? They look grouchy. They look grouchy, but they're my world-class assistant. Not my choice. Not by choice. His name is Aura. I'm sure it is, yes. Nice to meet you, Aura. But I think we've gotten enough information out of me. Can I try on your hat now? That's a tricky one. You see this little star pendant at the tip of my hat. Uh-huh. It classifies me as a wizard of the primordial sea. A silver one, I might add. One of the Leviathan's most trusted confidants. Oh. And all of his knowledge is directly transmitted to anyone with a hat like mine. And particularly, silver stars like me have access to information that leaked to the masses would break the order of this world. Oh wow. But every silver star has to go through extensive mental training. So amount of knowledge would drive any mortal without proper training insane. No. So I can't let you try on my head without endangering your life. And I couldn't forgive myself if I were the reason Tessio's best detective went mad. That is very honorable of you. But I, the great detective Millie, could have concluded that you, Hexion Hex, are nothing but a bad liar. Haha, you're a great detective indeed. I honestly thought you were pretty convincing, Hex. Thank you. Wait, did you actually believe him? I must admit, I considered it for a moment. Just a little bit. No way. But I decided for myself that his words were fairly impossible. I just happen to know a thing or two about the primordial sea. I've read a few books, heard some rumors, you know how it is. And I really doubt Leviathan would share his precious knowledge with a mere mortal. Nothing against you, Hex. Think the dragons. For a second, I really lost my faith in you there, Innkeeper. I gotta say, you're really convincing. I sure am. Looks like even a great detective like me never stops learning. Honestly, you could have just told me no, though. I would have revealed my name even without a promising magic hat on the line. But it's more fun this way. I think honestly it is also very important skill to master. Whatever you say, detective. But Hex, what brings you here today? Nothing really. I was just looking for another one of your drinks. You know, the kind that would flood my mind with new ideas. Leave it to me. Alright, hopefully this time I don't fluff it up to the point that I have to forget what the heck I'm doing. Silent Owl. Ooh. That's the new one. Silent Owl. With a Silent Owl, you make the night your own. Its eccentrically taste and hand-selected spices allow you to become the silhouette lurking in the shadows. A quick sip of this drink will grant you the sight, strength, and subtlety of a natural predator. Nice. Okay. I don't think he needs that drink, though. Let's give him this. Sparking Noble. A crap ton of intelligence. All the way up. And charisma. Top it off. Right there. Put her up. There you go. This should do the trick. Let's see. Oh, I can already feel it. All the ideas, they're manifesting in my brain. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, you can maybe show me a magical trick. Just to test your ability, I mean. Well, yes, of course I can. I'm glad you asked. You know, I'm a master of fire. Yeah, that's a little tense with him. Oh, then you can also do fireballs? I wouldn't call a fireball a mere magic trick, more like a full-fledged spell. But I can create 10 tiny flames on top of my fingertips. Like cute little candles? I want to see that. I would maybe advise you to play with fire outside. A lot of ingredients are very flammable. You'll miss a real big show then. I think I'll somehow manage to survive. Your loss. Or are you coming as well? I'm good. Alright, Lone Wolf, you're missing out, though. Certainly. See you later. Have fun. It sucks about his parents. Oh. Innkeep. What's up, Lynn? Lynn? This quest up for taking? It sure is. Why else would it be hanging on the quest board? Who asked you, thief? Are you going all by yourself? Of course, I don't do groups, but it could be quite dangerous. Daira seems to be a hotspot for danger at the moment. Do you want to come with me or what? If so, spit it out, kid. No. Fine. There's nothing this great sword can't cleave through by itself. Won't need much help. Cool. They always like that. They always like that, innkeeper? Worse, usually. Depends on who's in the room. That depends. Ah, I see how it is. You do? Yes, of course I do. You're like a dragon. You barely know me, so it's obvious that you're reserved as to not expose any weak spots. But sometimes you gotta find the fine line between it being reserved and being a tad too. Okay. Edgy. That. Can you stop psychologicalizing me? Yes. No. Great. Not like you're right with any of your assumptions. You could always enlighten us. I'll pass, but I wouldn't mind another drink. Same as always? Yes. Something. You know, something for my aura. Gotcha. Done the house this time. Something for his aura, huh? Alright. See if I can get something that's a little more easier to make, because I watched the shite out of the other one. Sunny Breeze. Let's give him that. In Sunny Breeze, I believe, requires a dish, a sink, charisma, all the way up. It's charisma that he needs, right? Yeah. And intelligence. Sunny Breeze, order up. Thanks. That's good. Enough. Splendid. Alright, moving on. What about you, Lynn? I'd like to know more about this cosmic scope that's the path to Daira. I mean, I haven't been there yet. Me neither, actually. Really? Do you think I never leave this tavern? Do you have any special insights that might be useful? Not so much about the situation in Daira itself, but bits and bobs I pick up over the last days. Enlighten me. As you might have read, travel to Daira has become a bit of a hazard. Collapsing bridges, disappearing animals, nervous dip, dip, diplomats. Sounds like a heaven for bandits, among other things. Either way, I'll get that blue blood to Daira. Of course, how about a drink to aid with the undertaking? I thought you'd never ask. Any wishes? I mean, this could go either way. Depends on what truly is going down in Daira. Talent might be important, being swift and smart about it. Evasion, that's what you call it. I might have a good infusion for that. The feather of a golden loon. A what? Oh, a rare waterfall. Legend has it, the wind still resists in its feather. Resides in its feather, which is why they lend you its speed. Ah, Intriguing? I have no idea what the heck to say that. I suppose it'd be the great for evasion if you added something for the brains to it. Though I'll be dealing with a diplomat. A little additional charisma to get me on his good side wouldn't hurt either. Definitely double. Alternatively, to be prepared for every possible situation, something to up my defense wouldn't be too bad. How do you feel about traveling under blessing of the dragons? I'm all ears. With a little citrion on a weapon that strikes with the blessed, great against any bandits or bridges. That sounds like something my Baba would have chosen, but that she would have needed. If the situation really is that dangerous, something that'll give me more protection would fit. If it comes with enough strength to strike back, that is. But being able to evade the threat by being smart and fast about it might be better. You know what, Innkeep? I'll leave the choice to you. You should know what you're doing. Let me think about it. Considering what she's going to go do, maybe being swift and mindful would be a better idea. But also being on the defense, considering her job is to defend a royal. I don't know. Fatal company. I have not looked at any of these. Okay, let's get back to this. Considering the job, let's go defense and attack. So, let's see here. Steel tonic. That's perfect. Steel tonic with confusion of the dragon. This one. Alright, a little bit of dex. Almost all the strength. And all the defense. Order up. Steel tonic. May the dragons guide your way. May they. Oh, hi. Where are you headed? Dara, some deployment clown is in need of is in need of aid. Needs some escorts of sorts. Ah, and Keep, is this the escort quest you've been offering? Yep. Begging crap. I've been meaning to take that one to earn a little bit of coin on the side. Well, I've already committed to it. I wonder if I tell you that I want the quest. Well, you ain't getting it. Simple. Did you stop me? Do you want me to? Try? I love you to. Come on now, just go together. Who asked you? Exactly. Your conversation is giving me a headache. The solution is as easy as it is efficient. Go together. One takes on the big bads, the other the small one. The other the small ones. Either way, you're better prepared for a fight, and your defense will be better. Listen, I'm looking to buy some materials for an important project. Materials cost exploded ever since the star fell. I wouldn't mind a side gig. You look sturdy, like you could take a few blows, so sure. Let's do it. Let's meet together at the crossroads to Themis. We'll leave from there. Great. I'll head to my room to start packing and take a nap. Those are effective after all. Huh? Oh, shush. You're a brooding fella, aren't you? This is just who I am. I've met fellas like you before. You're all the same. Often you got the trust hearts of gold. And we skipped the sincerity. My headache is bad enough. Ah, and Keep. Oh yeah? Cal keeps talking about fireworks. He's still oblivious about what actually happened. Flex with the fools, they say. For many, it'd be easier if it had just been fireworks. He keeps blabbering about that letter. Oh? Have you opened it yet? No. Dreading what might be inside? I don't have the time yet. I just don't care that much. I mean, we had plenty of time to do this, but let's just say we don't have time yet. Suddenly, ye lines don't sound so empty anymore. Don't think too hard about it. Oh, hello. Think about what? Nothing. Of course not. I didn't mean to pray or anything, even though I'm very curious by nature. Good for you. I would agree that, and wanderlust is the reason why I decided to come here. To the tavern, to Zenith, to adventure. Woohoo. Thank you. I've come to inquire whether someone has already embarked on the quest to escort my dear friend to Tyra. Very much so. She's sitting right here. Where? Wow. Oh, how rude of me, of course. Hello, brave adventurer. Ray is enough. Hello, brave Rhea. You are the one who is going to escort my dear friend? Along with Lynn. That one. Oh, Carolyn. Phenomenal. I'm beyond thrilled to learn that my dear friend is going to be in such capable hands. Though, I've been wondering. Come on, spit it out. Could I perhaps join? It's totally alright if not, but this diplomat is very dear to me, and I feel like my duty to aid him. Can you even fight? Well, I can talk very well. In fact, I can fight with my words. The wolf's hat fit. The wolf will hate it. So sure thing. Come along, lad. I'll show you some tricks we leave at midnight. Really? How exciting. Come on, let's go. Oh, how the turntables. That's not how you say that. I'm going on an adventure, a very dangerous and important quest instead of merely reading about it. Seems like you're on the right path of your hero's journey. Indeed, all the stories I have to tell when I return, Innkeeper. I can't wait. Farewell. See you soon. Goodbye. See you soon. I hope their quest goes well and they don't run into anything unexpected. What's on your mind? Are there any open quests left? Are there any open quests? There is one, but it involves social confliction resolution. Sure, whatever. This will be interesting. I'm taking this. Isn't it a bit too soon to go on another quest? You just got back, at least have a long rest. Replenish some resources. I'm good. If you say so. Are you sure? No, but who cares? I do. Don't. A bit too late for that, I'm afraid. I already paid you with a story today, so get me one of those quest streams. Something with a little more diligence. I don't think I'll be doing that. Oh, hi, Fable. Hiya, Innkeeper. Hiya, Fable. Hiya, Mel. Hi. Yeah. Never mind. Would you like a drink? Actually, I'm here for a quest. Archie told me there was still one left, and I wanted to ask if I could take it. Good question, Fable. I see it's on me to answer it. Aura is thinking about taking the quest. Who's Aura? John Milish Elliot, that guy. Oh, nice name. Thank you. But if you're already taking it, I guess I'm too late. I hope you have fun. First come, first serve, or I got it this? I think you should take the quest instead, Fable. Why don't you two go together? Of course I'm gonna take that option. Together, is that allowed? Of course, teamwork is the adventuring world's bread and butter. Most heroic deeds are not done alone. Life would be very lonely that way. It would be, yes, blah blah. So you should go on this quest together. Combine your individual strength to solve any problem better than you ever could alone. And you would get to know each other better in the process. It's a win-win. Or what would you think? Would you be okay with that? I guess. Would you? I think so. It sounds fun. Cool. Let's settle then. You'll go together. If I can ask, what exactly is the quest about, Archie? Only mentioned there was one. It's simple. Aya is worried because the Banshee of the Lagoon Lonesome Lagoon and Myra Morgan of the Ashen Grove aren't speaking to each other. She fears the end of their relationship would also mean the end of their friendship with the Maya is friends with the Myra Morgan. Best friends. Ah, so we need to talk to the Myra Morgan and the Banshee. What an opportunity. I always wanted to come face to face with the embodiment of sorrow. Don't you think that's scary? No, you know. No, you know what's scary? Failing relationships. Social fight. Social fights are the most dangerous kind. I find them less scary than wrathful spirits. Seems like together your fears will cancel each other out. I don't know enough about math to dispute that. Speaking of math-ish, how do you two want to approach this? This is not an easy task, so we must be smart about it. Do you still have any of those Fey crystals? The ones that make you fade into the shadows entirely? Sure do. Good. I suggest you mix those with a happy serving of intelligence. Then we can turn invisible and come up with a clever ruse to make them fall for each other again with them never knowing it was us. Do you just want to avoid social interaction? Maybe. Or maybe I just remember how well being invisible served me last time. Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they should talk about their feelings. What if their feelings are that they never wanted to talk to each other ever again? Then they should talk about that too. That's not the point of the question. I think it is. We should face the problem head on instead of trying to find a way to avoid it. I think I could do with another round of charisma for this one. And maybe, Innkeeper, Clay mentioned you have Thunder Sage. That would help us inspire other people, right? Correct. I'll admit it works a little different for everyone, but I have no doubt you'll figure it out. Speaking of Clay, he wanted me to tell you that he and Tio will make it back in time for the Barbuke. Really? That's amazing. Alright, you should come too. We're having a barbecue at the werewolf settlements on the 31st. It'll be the great fun, I think. I don't think so. Oh, alright. I have to get back to Rufus at some point. He'll need his wool cut. Speaking of Rufus, if you're here, Fable, where's the sheepfish? Well, Melina picked him up. She said she's bringing him home, so he has to spend less time alone. Great. Was that wrong? I told her exactly what kind of food to give him in case he's gets hungry while they wait for you. No, it's fine. He likes her. They're a good match. Anyway, we should hurry it so you don't miss your barbecue. You're right. Innkeeper, can you help us pick the right approach? Either invisible and intelligence, or charismatic and inspiring. I trust your experience. Let me think about it. Considering the situation, I think charismatic and actually talking will be the best outcome for this. So, charisma. Sunny breeze. Yeah, let's go with the Sunny Breeze. And the infusion was this one. Oh, the charisma? And a little bit of dex. And we have a Sunny Breeze. Order up. I think a direct approach is better choice. After all, honest communication is important, right? Would you say so? Very much so. And you? I think honesty is the best approach to any situation, including this one. Agreed. I think the only question left is, where should we start? Ashen Grove is closer. And you already know where to find the Mare organ. You do? Yes, I encountered her before. So she'll remember you? Useful. I hope not. Last time she tried to drown me. Oh, I see. I was pretty embarrassing. It was pretty embarrassing. I know the way to Banshee too. It might be smarter to start with one further away, work backwards as and all. That makes sense. Let's do that. Good, but we should prepare first. The journey to Boris won't be easy. You're right. We should leave tomorrow morning. We should. Wonderful. Glad to know that you will actually rest between the quest, Aura. If I must. You went on a quest with Melly, right? How was it? Fine. Reminded me of my parents. Are they well? They're dead. Ah. Burned to death. I'm sorry. That's horrible. That's life. It shouldn't be. How old were you when you lost them? 7. Oh wow. That must have been really scary. It was. Fine. But it doesn't sound fine. When I was 7, I ran into a vine spike for while searching for friendly rocks. It chased me through the forest for almost an entire hour. First, I thought I was going to die. Then I was sure I was never going to step foot outside again. But when they found me crying, my family hugged me so tightly they dried up all my tears. And when I sat in my room frozen in fear, we danced and played board games until I forgot I was even scared. I can't imagine not having that. I can. It was... Please don't say fun. Scary, really scary. I waited at home by myself for 2 whole days. I thought shadows were going to eat me at some point. And when I finally was brave enough to leave, it was too late. You know, it wasn't your fault, right? I know I never wanted to feel that scared again. But it's fine, because I fixed it. Fixed it? How? By taking revenge on the who's caused their death. A popular approach these days. Did that make you feel any better? Yeah, sure. It was just a natural part of my journey, following the path of darkness. It's my destiny. Misery is nobody's destiny. He's right. You shouldn't confine yourself to sadness just because it's what you're used to. Besides, the innkeeper always says you can choose your own destiny. And I decided our destiny is to be bringing those 2 loved birds back together, at least for now. I think I need to go prepare for our treacherous journey ahead. You should let Lena know you're leaving. You should hurry or Lenny will stop you. You should let Melia know you're leaving. She'll be worried senseless otherwise. Let her know you'll be back. I might not be. Don't be like your parents. Whatever. Time to go. Do you think I should go after him? I think sometimes we need to take a bit of time to feel our feelings by ourselves before we feel comfortable enough feeling them in front of other people. That's a no, right? Give him a moment. You'll have plenty of time to be there for him when you're trying to play a matchmaker for the undead. Right. We have to do that. Which is fine, I'll be fine. And Myra Morgan probably doesn't even remember me. And if she does, I can just run, or hide, or cry. No matter what, you won't be alone. I can't tell Aura how afraid I am. It'll be so embarrassing. If you want to be there for him, you should at least also let him know when you're scared. It's only fair. I don't want to be burned. I don't want to be a burden I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to burden them with my problems. Being a burden every once in a while is part of the wonderful experience of being loved. Your friends appreciate it when you trust them enough to let them help you. Because you care for people. You're willing to put in a little work to make them smile. But you already knew all of this, don't you? I do, but it's just so much harder to keep in mind when it comes to myself. I know, but you've been doing very well, Fable. I know, but you have to try anyway. Doing well. Thank you, Innkeeper. It's all thanks to you. That isn't true. I've been trying to help you the best I can, but you're the one who actually has to change. And I'm proud of you. Proud of how far you've come. Let's call it teamwork then. Let's. Anytime. Can I stay for a little longer? I think I need a bit more time before I can face my fears. Always, Fable. Thank you. This is a long one. Morning. It's not morning. Did I sleep that long? No, it's still the same day. Ah, that makes more sense. Not morning, Elfie. Not morning. How did you sleep? The sound leak feels like I haven't slept so well in ages. Archie said you're going on a quest. Yeah, Rhea and I'll be escorting some rich to Dyra. Be a little nicer, please. He's Archie's friend. Sarah will be escorting some rich idiot to Dyra. He's Archie's friend? I see. That's why he was so excited. Does his friend leaving? Must really be craving some peace and quiet. Oh, no. He's excited because they get to travel together. What? Right, she doesn't know. Said he's coming along. Since when? Ray invited him. Great. Is it too late to back out? No, would you like to? Yes, don't be a coward. Yes, don't be a coward. Fine. But I'll need another drink. That would be rather difficult. I already gave you a drink tailored to your quest, and my boost shouldn't be mixed so irresponsibly right before an adventure. So I'm just supposed to deal with his headache by myself? Yes. Very helpful, thank you. I think we struck a nerve. You're welcome. Do you think something exciting will happen on your quest? We'll see. I've got a good feeling about it. You reckon I'm gonna meet another guardian? Maybe. That would be fun, right? What kind would you like to meet this time? Not sure. I feel like I already met the one I was looking for. What could be greater than tracking a wyvern chimera? You're right. I think that means it's time to befriend the realm keepers now. That would be a feat. Wouldn't that be something? Which one would you like to meet the most? Guy, I can't think of a greater honor than that. You? Guy as well, but I feel like I should pick someone else for balance. Cassiopeia, maybe. I'd love to ask her how she's doing right now. Maybe give her a hug. You'd be the type to give a dragon a hug. What do you mean? What does that mean? That you're very lovely? I think. Something like that. So, hello dragon enjoyer. Who would you pick? No repeats. The first dragon on the origin of everything. Tet 2, the great spirit dragon. Leviathan, the serpent of primordial sea. I think I would go with that one. Why, you like snakes? I do. I also enjoy elemental magic and swimming and chaos. What was that last one? Swimming. Right. But I suspect your quest will have its merits even if you don't meet any of the realm keepers. That's true. I bet you and Ray will have a lot to talk about, and you can teach Archie more about adventuring. I'm not so sure about that. You're a great teacher. I've learned so much from you already just by being your friend. I have to say what I really mean. I'm still working on it, obviously, but I feel so much better when I'm being honest about what I want. You've been getting a lot better at it. Thank you. Emily loves practicing with you too. She says she wants to ask Ray to build her a great sword of her own. So a regular sized dagger. Teaching someone to hold a sword is one thing. Guts and bravery are something else. Not sure I can teach Archie something I'm still practicing myself. You can always practice together. Yeah, speaking of practice, you're going on a quest too, Elfie. I am. Aura and I are going to fix a Banshee and Mara Morgan's relationship. Is that snaky twisted new name? Is it? Ain't you scared of the Myra Morgan? Only a little. Okay, maybe a lot. Do you think she's going to drown me, or do you think the Banshee will? Maybe they'll unite through the teamwork of drowning me. Probably not. I think you'll probably find some wacky as heck solution that no person in the history of Dragonkind would have ever thought of. Like being kind or whatever. I like that. And if all else fails, you've always got an insane air echo by your side to pull you out of the water. If you can swim. He's sane. Is he? Well, mostly I think he's sad, and sadness can make people feel a lot of intense things. Like fear or anger or anything at all anything that isn't sadness. It's easy to lose yourself in that, but there's always a way out if you're looking. You're taking that sheepish thing along. Maybe. I think you might let him stay with Ellie so she isn't too alone. Is so alone. Or so he isn't at risk of losing him. Probably both. Not a bad idea. Would hate it for her to be all alone while you two go chasing ghosts. Maybe we can send Grace over to check up on her. Or Hex. No. Guess if you're going with whatever the Drake his name is, you'll finally be able to ask him about his cheesecake recipe. Cheesecake recipe? Well, he mentioned he has a good one. I thought maybe he could show me how to make it. Sounds like a great idea. That doesn't seem like something he'd enjoy. Sounds like a great idea. Ask him. You can use my kitchen if you want to. Really? That would be amazing. Ask him. Maybe. I knew we'll be waiting for you. On a completely different note, Lynn, what happened to those undead snails you wanted to check in on? Well, they're slow, ain't they? So got a little time to stick around? So you'd say you like it here? It's not too bad here, though. Thought maybe I'd even bring my cousin a chauffeur. Hands off my trinkets. I ain't that air echo. I'll get her something from the market or a elf settlement. And maybe I'll bring you something back from her farm, Elfie. You mentioned you love to try planting some ghost berries. Either way, I'll stop by sooner or later. Don't want to risk her turning into a werewolf and moving the house. Ah. Yeah. No, but seriously, if any more of my family members turn into dragon forsaken werewolves, I'll be doing the Van Helsings. Still don't know if they kill werewolves. Don't care. You think I could come with you when you go? I mean, I could gather the ghost berries myself, and I know a lot about snails. You should. You've got a way with family members. Don't you think people need you here? Yeah, you should. And the snails would love you. I have to agree. You'd probably make a chaotic mess, but a fun chaotic mess. Yeah. Seems like you guys did end up forming a party after all. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, it's late. I think I should go back to the settlement and catch some rest. Carolyn, do you want to come with? We can stop by the werewolf settlement and say hi to Mr. Dragon or bye. Ain't sure I got any tips for you in return, but I can listen to you worrying. Yeah, you're good at that. Do you want to come too, Innkeeper? I'm afraid Adu doesn't do well in civilization, or alone, especially not alone. But I'll be eagerly awaiting your stories. We'll return with plenty. I'm counting on it. Good night, Lynn. Good night, Fable. Night. Good night. And with that, we feed Adu, our little buddy, clean up the tavern, and blow out the candles to end this episode. So if you're enjoying the series so far, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.